Hare Ram, Ram Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. So thank you all for joining in for our everyday evening Sandhya Kal session in this most auspicious month of Kartik. Today is the most auspicious occasion of Dwadashi, and also today is the second day of Bhishma Panchaka Vrata. I hope everybody's Vrata is going on very nicely. And we'll start with our Mangalacharan prayers. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanyamanoਭीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्. वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितंश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी निधि नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रधायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरदुषे नमः. पंचतत्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकम्. हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपीश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते. तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा. हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. गुरवे गौरचंद्राय राधिकाय तदालये कृष्णाय कृष्णभक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः. मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरून् दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्यमीश्वरम्. हरिः ओम तत्सत्. Hare Krishna. So thank you all for joining in again. So we are studying the book Raja Vidya, the King of Knowledge, by His Divine Grace Abhay Charanaravind Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. So we are on chapter number 2. Chapter number 2 is entitled the knowledge of beyond the knowledge of samsara. Right? Yeah, knowledge beyond samsara. What is that knowledge which will take us beyond the samsara chakra? That means beyond this birth, death, disease, and old age. That knowledge which will take us beyond this mrityu samsara vartmani. Right? Krishna tells in Bhagavad Gita, who are the people who can actually cross over this mrityu samsara vartmani. Right? Who are those kind of people? Those people who have faith in devotional service and to perform devotional service. Such kind of people can actually cross over the ocean of material existence. And yesterday we were reading how if we just simply toss and turn and adjust ourselves to the various problems and solutions of this world, which are very temporary, then what do? We continuously are subject to transmigration in this ocean of birth and death. Right? Jalaja Navalakshani Stavra Lakshavimshati kramayo rudra sankhya the pakshinam dashalakshanam trimshal lakshani pashavaha chatur lakshani manushaha. Like that, in the 8.4 million species of life, out of which 400,000 are human beings. What are we doing? We will be just going around the various species as a matter of evolution process. Finally, we'll get a human form of life, and if they waste that, like we've got just now, we've got the human form of life. But if you waste that, then again we are going to be situated in this samsara chakra. So this chapter is going to give us a knowledge of how we have to get out of this samsara chakra and get back into that spiritual realm where there is no birth, death, disease, and old age. Right? So we'll start reading from here. Ashradadanaha purusha dharmasyasya parantapa aprapya mam nivartante mrityu samsara vartmani. Those who are not faithful on the path of devotional service cannot attain me, O conqueror of foes. Therefore, they return to the path of birth and death in this material world. Okay. It's this mouse is not working. Yeah. All right. So, ashraddhana purusha. Ashraddhana means those who are not faithful. Purusha means we are all little bit controllers, right? We control what I want to do, what I don't want to do, what I want to eat, what I don't want to eat, what ratha I want to follow, what I don't want to follow, etc. We follow. We are able to decide. So we are mini controllers. Those people who don't have faith on the path of devotional service. Ashraddhana purusha dharmasyasya parantapa. Parantapa is the name of Arjuna. Why is Arjuna called Parantapa? Parantapa means he's a conqueror of foes. Right? Aprapya mam nivartante. Aprapya means they will not get. What is that? Nivartante mrityu samsara vartmani. They will not be able to return back home, back to Godhead, which means they will not be able to cross over this ocean of material existence. Who cannot cross over the ocean of material existence? Those who are not faithful on the path of devotional service. Okay, some I'm not able to select. Yeah. So that is what we are starting with our discussion today. Those who don't have faith in the process of devotional service will be circulating in this world again and again, like that. Okay. So let's continue reading. Karpakvali Mataji, go ahead. By definition,
by definition, religion is that which connects us with God. If it is not capable of connecting us with God, it is not religion. Religion means searching for God, understanding God, and establishing a relationship with God. This is religion. Those who are engaged in devotional service are acting for Krishna or God, and since they are in this way, there is connection with God. So Krishna consciousness is the religion. It is not possible to manufacture a religion. A true religion must come from an authorized source, and that source is either God or its representative. Religion has been called the law of God. It is not possible for a person to manufacture a state law. The law is there and it is given by the state. One can create some laws, create bylaws and for his own society, but these laws must be sanctioned by the law of the state. Similarly, if we wish to make some principle of religion, it must be sanctioned by the Vedic authority.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you much.
So, dharmam tu sakshat bhagavat pranitam, right? Dharmam tu sakshat bhagavat pranitam. So, what is dharma? The dharma of a human being, how a human being should live, how a human being should conduct himself in this material world is actually directed by the Supreme Personality of God. It is given directly by the Lord in the form of the Vedic scriptures, which are delineated to us through the medium of the spiritual master, right? So we cannot do what we like and then crib that why are we not getting the solution that we intend, right? We all want to get out of the cycle of birth, death, disease, and old age. But if we adopt our own measures, what we think will help us, it will not help us to go back home, back to Godhead, right? Prabhupada is giving an example here, how one should not manufacture a religion, right? If we concoct something according to our mental speculation and we follow that, we may not get the desired result, right? There is a prescribed process which is time tested, which is experienced. People have experienced success. Success means attaining Krishna Prema by following this method. Right? The entire Guru Parampara are testimony to this fact that you can attain Krishna Prema simply by following the path of devotional service. However, people who don't have faith, they will not be able to go back to that world, but they will have to revolve around this Janma, Mrityu, Jara, and Vyadhi. And then Prabhupada also says, for a society, one may create some bylaws, but those are subsets to the main laws that is created for the land by the authorities, right? So similarly, the law for this land or this material world is given by the Lord Himself in the form of Vedic scriptures. So if one follows the principles given in the Vedic scriptures, then one will be able to transcend the three modes of material nature and attain the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Sri Krishna. All right. So let's move on to the next paragraph. Who will read? Leela Nandini Mataji, go ahead. The Bhagavad Gita is also called religion. Yes.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam. Yes, Mataji.
The Bhagavad Gita is also religion. Great authorities like Ramanujacharya, Madhavacharya, Vishnu Swami, Lord Chaitanya, Shankaracharya, and so many others have accepted the Bhagavad Gita as the supreme principle of religion and Krishna as the supreme personality of Godhead. There is no doubt about it. In the West also, the Bhagavad Gita is accepted as a great book of philosophy, and many great scholars and philosophers in the West have read and commented on it despite acceptance by the scholars and acharyas. There are persons who do not accept the Bhagavad Gita and who have no faith. They do not accept it at all as authority, for they think that it is some sentimental exaggeration by a man known as Krishna. Thus, Krishna states in the above quoted verse that those who reject the Bhagavad Gita, as authority, cannot have any connection with him, and because they have no relation to him, they remain in the cycle of birth and death. Aprapyamam nivartante mrityu samsara vartamani. Being subjected to samsara, the cycle of birth and death, does not guarantee that one will necessarily get a similar facility for understanding the Bhagavad Gita in the next life. One may not necessarily be born again as a human being, nor in America, nor in India, nor even on this planet. There is no certainty. It all depends on our work. On the path of birth and death, we take our birth, remain for some time, enjoy or suffer, then again give up this body and enter into the womb of a mother, either human or animal. Then prepare another body to come out and begin our work again. This is called Mrityu Samsara Vartamani. If one wants to avoid this path, he must take to Krishna consciousness. When Yudhishthira Maharaja was asked, what is the most wonderful thing in this world? He replied, the most wonderful thing is that every day, every moment, people are dying. And yet everyone thinks death will not come for him. Every minute and every second we experience that living entities are going to the temple of death. Men, insects, animals, birds, everyone is going. This world therefore is called Mrityu-loka, the planet of death. Every day there are obituaries and we bother to go to the cemetery or crematorium grounds. We can validate them. Yet everyone is thinking, somehow or other I will leave. Everyone is subject to the law of death, yet no one takes it seriously. This is illusion. Thinking we will live forever, we go on doing whatever we like, feeling that we will never be held responsible. This is very risky life, and it is the densest part of our illusion. We should become very serious and understand that death is waiting. We have heard the expression as sure as death. This means that in this world, death is the most certain thing. No one can avoid it. When death comes, no longer will our puff of philosophy or advanced degrees help us. At that time, our stout and strong body and our intelligence, which don't care for anything, are vanquished. At that time, the fragmental portion, Jivatma, comes under the dictation of material nature, and Prakriti, that is nature, gives us the type of body which we are fit. If we want to take this risk, we can avoid Krishna. If we don't want to take it, Krishna will come to help us. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much.
Hare Bol Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Bol, Hare Krishna. If you want to take this risk, we can avoid Krishna. What is the risk? To go back into the 8.4 million species. Right? I was talking about insects and reptiles and aquatics and plants, wherein we don't really have any kind of freedom, right? But we'll be rotating around here. If you want to take this risk, we can avoid Krishna, right? If you want to take the risk of going back to the lower species of life, then we can avoid Krishna. But if we don't want to take that risk, then Krishna will come to help us, provided we engage in devotional service, right? Amevamsho jiva loke jiva bhuta sanatanaha manashasthanindriyani prakriti sthani karshati. Why are we suffering in this material world with this material senses and the mind? Because we are identifying ourselves with something that is temporary. We are not identifying ourselves with our eternal position, which is Jivera Swarupa Hoye, Krishnera Nityadas. Right? And Prabhupada has explained in several of his lectures that this entire lifetime is an examination. Is the preparation, and death is the examination, right? So we have 1 year preparation time for every class, right? First standard, 1 year. You pass the exam at the end of the first standard, and then we go to the second standard, third standard, fourth standard, like that, isn't it? Similarly, as human beings, okay, we have an examination that is waiting for us at the time of death. If we pass that examination, we'll go to the spiritual world, right? Otherwise, we will either go according to how we have spent our life. If we have been sattvic, if we've been pious, then at least we will get a human body. If we engage in a devotional service, at least we get a human body, right? Even that is risky. Why? Because we don't know whether in the next life as human beings we will get the association of devotees, whether we'll be introduced to ISKCON, whether we'll get the opportunity to study Srila Prabhupada's books, right? It's a very big risk. If you're willing to take that risk of gliding down to lower species, or becoming a human being but with no opportunity to perform devotional service, then we can take this risk. But otherwise, what are we supposed to do? We are supposed to understand the principles of God by studying the Vedic scriptures under the authority of a bona fide spiritual master, and understand that this world is not a permanent place for me, right? Just like when we go on a holiday, we don't try to change the things in that particular holiday resort, right? We know that I'm going to be here for a week, so let me just see through what are all there here, and keeping the objective in mind that I have to go back home after 1 week. Similarly, as we are in this material world, we perform our swadharma, we do our various activities, but we should always keep in mind that at the end of this lifetime, I have to go back home, back to Godhead. This is not my permanent place. This is like a jail. I have come here for reformation. So once I get reformed of my illicit desires to enjoy independently, then I will be able to go back home, back to Godhead. Right? And Prabhupada is saying how one should become very serious, understand that death is waiting, right? Prabhupada mentions Parikshit Maharaj was very lucky. At least he knew that his death was coming in 7 days. We don't even have a 1 second notification, right? We don't know even until the point of death, we don't know that we're going to die, right? One person was asking, he was asking the doctor, "Oh doctor, I have so many things to be fulfilled. Just prolong my life for another 2 years only." The doctor is saying, "What can I prolong your life? Right? I cannot even prolong my life even for a second. So how can I help you?" Right? So that is our predicament. That we cannot prolong our life even for a second. The only free will that we have is how we utilize the body that we have, how we utilize the life that we have in the service of the Lord. And when we do that, then we will be able to award ourselves a higher destination, right? Wherever we are, whatever position we are in currently is due to what we have done in the past, is due to whatever choices we've made in the past. But now, having got a human form of life in this Bhuloka, we have the free will, we have the power to determine our future destination, either rotating around in the 8.4 million species here, or we can go back home, back to Godhead. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Srila Gurudev ki Jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. So with that, we end our second chapter. So tomorrow we will start our third chapter, which is entitled Knowledge of Krishna's Energies. Right? Now we are understanding what is that knowledge by which we can go back home, back to Godhead. That knowledge which has to be put into practice is the process of devotional service. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Archanam, Mandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atmanivedanam. By processing this now, by following this Navavida Bhakti, we will be able to transcend the 3 modes of material nature. We will be able to cross over this ocean of material existence. Bhavam Budhir. right? So we'll be able to cross over the ocean of material existence. All right. So now let's quickly go on to our regular recitations. So we are starting off with Bhagavad Gita. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Arjunovacha. Evam Satadayukta ye Bhakta Swam Paryupasate ye Chapyaksharam Avyaktam Tesham ke Yoga Vittamaha. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Mayyavesh ye mam nityayukta upasate shraddhaya parayopetas te me yukta tamamataah etvaksharam nirdesham avyaktam paryupasate sarvatra gamma chintyam cha kutastam achalam dhruvam sanniyamyendriya gramam sarvatra samabuddhayah te prapnuvanti mameva sarvabhuta hiterataah क्लेशो अधिकतरस्तेषाम् अव्यक्तासक्तचेतसाम् अव्यक्ता हि गतिर्दुःखम् देहवद्भिरवाप्यते ये तु सर्वाणि कर्माणि मयि सन्न्यस्य मत्पराः अनन्येनैव योगेन मां ध्यायन्त उपासते तेषामहं समुद्धर्ता मृत्युसंसारसागरात् भवामि न चिरात् पार्थ मय्यावेशितचेतसाम् मय्येव मनः दत्स्व मयि बुद्धिं निवेशय निवसिष्यसि मय्येव अत ऊर्ध्वं न संशयः अथ चित्तं समादातुं न शक्नोषि मयि स्थिरम् अभ्यासयोगेन ततो मामि चाप्तुं धनञ्जय अभ्यासेऽपि समर्थोऽसि मत्कर्म परमो भव मदर्थम् अभिकर्माणि कुर्वन् सिद्धिम् अवाप्स्यसि अथैतदपि अशक्तोऽसि कर्तुम् मद्योगमाश्रितः सर्वकर्मफलत्यागं ततः कुरु यथात्मवान् श्रेयो हि ज्ञानमभ्यासात् ज्ञानात् ध्यानं विशिष्यते ध्यानात् कर्मफलत्यागस्त्यागः शान्तिरनन्तरम् अद्वेष्टा सर्वभूतानां मैत्रः करुण एव च निर्ममो निरहङ्कार समदुःख सुखक्षमी सन्तुष्टः सततं योगी यथात्मा दृढनिश्चयः मय्यर्पितः मनोबुद्धिर्यो मद्भक्तः मे प्रियः यस्मान्नो द्विजते लोको लोकान्नो द्विजते च यः हर्षामर्षभयोद्वेगैर्मुक्तो यः स च मे प्रियः अनपेक्ष शुचिर्दक्ष उदासीनो गताव्यतः सर्वारम्भपरित्यागी यो मद्भक्तः स मे प्रियः यो न हृष्यति न द्वेष्टि न शोचति न काङ्क्षति शुभाशुभपरित्यागी भक्तिमान् स मे प्रियः समशत्रौ च मित्रे च तथा मानपमानयोः शीतोष्णा सुखदुःखेषु समसङ्गविवर्जितः तुल्यनिन्दास्तुतिर्मौनी सन्तुष्टो येन केनचित् अनिकेतः स्थिरमतिर्भक्तिमान् मे प्रियो नरः ये तु धर्मामृतमिदं यथोक्तं पर्युपासते श्रद्धाधानमत्परम भक्तास्तेऽतीव मे प्रियः हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna. So now we'll recite chapter 31 of the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam entitled The Gopis, Songs of Separation. This is also called as Gopi Geet. So we will start with verse number 1. Let me quickly share my screen. Yeah. Jayati te Gopya uchuhu. Okay. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 31. Gopya uchuhu jayati te dikam janmana vraja shrayata indira shashvadatrihi daita drishyatam dikshutavaka swaidrita savas tvam vichinvate jayati te dikam krishna janmana vraja श्रयत इंदिरा कृष्णा शश्वदत्रहि कैतदृश्यतां कृष्णाधिक्षुतावकास् वैधृतासवस् कृष्णा त्वां विचिन्वते शरदुदाशये कृष्णा साधुजातसत् सरसिजोधरा कृष्णा श्रीमुषादृशा सुरतनातते कृष्णा शुल्कदासिका परदनिघ्नतो कृष्णा नेह किं वधा विषजलाप्ययात् कृष्णा व्यालरक्षसात् वर्षमारुतात् कृष्णा वैद्युतानलात् वृषमयात्मजात् कृष्णा विश्वतो भयात् ऋषभते वयं कृष्णा रक्षिता मुहुः न खलु गोपिका कृष्णानन्दनो भवान् अखिल देहिनां कृष्णा अन्तरात्मदृक् विकनसार्थितो कृष्णा विश्वगुप्तये सकौ देयिवान् कृष्णा सात्वताङ्कुले विरचिता भयं कृष्णा वृष्णिधूर्यते चरणनीयुषां कृष्णा संश्रुतेर्भयात् करसरोरुहं कृष्णा कान्तकामदं शिरसि देहिना कृष्णा श्रीकरग्रहं व्रजजनार्तिहन् कृष्णा वीरयोषितां निजजनस्मया कृष्णा ध्वंसनस्मिता भज सखे भवात् कृष्णा किङ्करी स्मनो जलरुहाननं कृष्णा चारुदर्शया प्रणतदेहिनां कृष्णा पापकर्षणम् तृणशरानुगं कृष्णा श्रीनिकेतनम् फणिफणार्पितं कृष्णा ते पदाम्बुजं कृणुकुचेषु न कृष्णा कृन्धि हृच्चयम् मधुरया गिरा कृष्णा वल्गुवाक्यया बुधमनोज्ञया कृष्णा पुष्करे क्षणा विधिकरीरिमा कृष्णा वीरमूयति अदरसीधुना कृष्णा प्याययस्वना तव कथामृतं कृष्णा तप्तजीवनां कविभिरीडितं कृष्णा कल्मषापहम् श्रवणमङ्गलं कृष्णा श्रीमदाततं भुवि गृह्णन्ति ये कृष्णा भूरिदा जनाः प्रहसितं प्रिया कृष्णा प्रेमवीक्षणं विहरणं च ते कृष्णा ध्यानमङ्गलम् रहसि संविदो कृष्णा या हृदि स्पृशाः कुहकनो मना कृष्णा क्षोभयन्ति चलसि यद्व्रजात् कृष्णा चारयान् पशून् नलिनसुन्दरं कृष्णा नाथते पदम् शिलतृणाङ्कुरै कृष्णा सीदतीति न कलिलतां मनः कृष्णा कान्त गच्छति दिनपरीक्षये कृष्णा नीलकुण्डलैर्वनरुहाननं कृष्णा बिभ्रदावृतम् गणरजस्वलं कृष्णा दर्शयान्मुहुर् मनसि न स्मरं कृष्णा वीरयच्छसि प्रणतकामदं कृष्णा पद्मजार्चितं धरणिमण्डनं कृष्णा ध्येयमापदि चरणपङ्कजं कृष्णा शन्तमं च ते रमणनस्तनिष् कृष्णा अर्पयादिहन् सुरतवर्धनं कृष्णा शोकनाशनं स्वरितवेणुना कृष्णा सुष्ठुचुम्बितम् इतरराघवे स्मारणं नृणां पितरवीरनास्तेदरामृतम् अतति यद्भवान् कृष्णा अहनिकाननम् श्रुतियुगायते कृष्णा त्वामपश्यतम् कुटिलकुण्ठलं कृष्णा श्रीमुखं च ते जडौ दीक्षतां कृष्णा पक्ष्मकृदृशाम् अतिसुतान्वया कृष्णा भ्रातृबान्धवान् अतिविलङ्घ्यते कृष्णा अन्त्य अच्युतागताः गतिविदास्तवोद् गीतमोहिता कितवयोषिता कृष्णा कस्त्यजेनुषी रहसि संविधं कृष्णा हृच्चयोदयम् प्रहसिताननं कृष्णा प्रेमवीक्षणम् बृहदुरश्रियो कृष्णा वीक्षदामते मुहुरति स्पृहा कृष्णा मुह्यते मना प्रजवनौकसां कृष्णा व्यक्तिरङ्गते वृजिनहन्त्र्यलं कृष्णा विश्वमङ्गलम् त्यजमनाक्षना कृष्णा त्वत्स्पृहात्मनां स्वजनहृदृजां कृष्णा यन्निषूदनम् यत्ते सुजातशरणाम्बुरुहं स्तनेषु वीताक्षणै प्रियदधीमहि कर्कशेषु तेनातवीमतसि तद्यततेन किं स्वेत् पूर्वादिभिर्भवदायुषां नः हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भगवद गीता की जय, जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय. So we've been meditating on Damodarashtakam. The last, we are on the fourth last day of the Kartik month. We are celebrating our second day of Bhishma Panchaka Vrata today on the auspicious occasion dwadashi, where we broke fast with just 1 grain of Jagannath rice, and then we're continuing with our roots and fruits fasting. If you're doing level 2, or we can have the Havishya Anna, that is a specific recipe that's given for that, wherein we follow these additional austerities, which is called Bhishma Panchaka Vrata, as ordained by Lord Sri Krishna himself. And this we are doing for the pleasure of Bhishma Pitamaha, and also for the pleasure of Srimati Radharani, because Srimati Radharani is very pleased when we do things as given by Lord Sri Krishna. And Lord Sri Krishna has actually instituted this vrata and named it as Bhishma Panchaka Vrata, which we are performing some austerities of reducing our eating, sleeping activities, and we are increasing our chanting, hearing, and devotional service time and activities. Yeah. So we are now meditating on Damodarashtakam, wherein Satyavrati Muni is actually meditating on this wonderful pastime of Damodar Leela that happened in the courtyard of Nanda Maharaj. So let us sing. We actually meditated on the first 3 verses already. Today we'll be taking up the 4th verse. In the first verse we said, Namamishwaram Satchit Ananda Rupam. Right? The Lord Damodar is described by Satyavrata Muni as Satchit Ananda Rupam, who is an embodiment or personification of eternal bliss, knowledge, and Sat Chit Ananda, eternity, knowledge, and bliss. Right? And Lasat Kundalam Gokule Brajamanam. I love this Kundalam pastime. I almost tell in almost all the sessions where Damodarashtakam is taken. Right? Lasat Kundalam Gokule Brajamanam. Why is Kundalam specified here? Right? So many ornaments Krishna is wearing. Why is Kundalam specified? Why? Because the Kundalam is the most fortunate ornament that is getting the fortune of kissing Krishna's cheeks. As Krishna is running away from Mother Yashoda, and as this Kundalam is swinging to and fro, it is actually kissing Krishna's cheeks. Right? And Gokule Brajamanam, and is also beautifully shining in the divine realm of Gokula. And the second 2 lines of the first paragraph is Yashodha Biyoluka Ladhavamanam Paramrishtamatyantato Drutya Gopya. And this Gopi, who is Yashoda Maya, is actually running behind Krishna. Yashodha Biyoluka Ladhavamanam. Why is Yashoda running behind Krishna? Because Krishna has just performed a very naughty activity of just because Mother Yashoda went to check the milk on the gas stove, he actually broke the butter pot. He threw the buttermilk everywhere, and then he knew, now my mother is going to be very angry with me. Right? Now I have to run away. And then he ran away with 1 butter pot on the buttermilk that he himself has strewn all over the place. And then what happens when this white buttermilk is there and Krishna is jumping on that and going on the courtyard? If you see the picture on the left and the right, Krishna has a small lotus footprints. Right? As he came out of the house, the imprints are there on the house, and then he's now running outside in the courtyard, where we can also see those 2 big trees, which is the Yamala Arjuna trees. Right? So in this way, when Krishna is running away in fear of Mother Yashoda, why? Because he knew he's done something naughty, and now Mother Yashoda is going to be angry, and Mother Yashoda is following those lotus imprints on the buttermilk, that is dropped all over, and she gets very angry. She picks up a stick. Now today I'm going to teach Krishna a lesson. Now she runs out into the courtyard, and she is trying to catch Krishna. And it is said, Paramrishtam Atyanta Todrutya Gopya. Atyanta Todrutya Gopya. That means Yashoda Maya was able to catch Krishna because she ran after him with greater speed. How can somebody run and catch Krishna? Being, you remember this pastime of Kali Avanan, right? Kaliyavan wanted to destroy, wanted to fight with Krishna. And what did Krishna do? Krishna just walked past him in the battlefield. And Kaliyavan was running, and Krishna was not even running. And Krishna is a big man, right? At that time, Krishna is, definitely not as, at least I'm not sure of what is the age of Krishna at that time, but at least Krishna was not a small boy. Here, Krishna is such a small boy, and he is running away from Mother Yashoda, right? Generally, when we are small, we have a lot of energy, right? We see children are running around here, there, and everywhere, right? So, and Yashoda Maya is able to catch that Krishna who's running away so fast, right? As we grow, if you ask me to run today, right, I would be able to run with half the speed of what I would have been able to run when I was probably 10 years old or 12 years old, isn't it? With age, what happens? Our body becomes bulky, we become heavier, and then we become more lethargic and everything, right? So even that, Krishna, who was relatively older than this little Krishna who was running around, Kaliyavanan could not catch. And in fact, Krishna was not even running. Right? Kaliyavanan was running so much and Krishna was just walking until he reached the cave where Muchukunda was there. And that passim is there where, Krishna entered and delivered. And several purposes are satisfied when Krishna wants to say something. Right? And then he became called as Ranachor. Right? Some people, everybody, if a Kshatriya runs away from the battlefield, he is ridiculed. But Krishna running away from the battlefield is glorified as Ranachor. But he did not even run. He was just walking and Kaliyavanan could not catch him. And also we see that so many Ashtanga yogis meditate on the Lord and they want to catch the Lord and capture them in his mind and capture them in their heart. None of them are able to do it, right? Unless they have the mercy of Krishna, we cannot capture Lord Sri Krishna. But that Krishna, who's feared by the fear personified, is being fearful of Mother Yashoda and he is running. But Mother Yashoda could run behind him and capture him because she ran with a greater speed. What was that force of her greater speed? Her devotion, her love to Lord Sri Krishna, because of which the Lord allowed himself to be caught by the love and devotion of Mother Yashoda. So that was the first verse. Now let's go on to the second verse. Rudantam muhur netra yugmam rujantam. Rudantam means rubbing. Muhur netra, right? He's rubbing continuously his eyes. Why? Because his eyes are filled with tears, but the tears are not coming out. Right? Until the tears come out, Mother Yashoda will not know. You're simply acting. There are no tears coming out of your eyes. So he's rubbing his eyes, so the tears will come out, and Mother Yashoda would feel mercy towards our little Krishna. So he's rubbing. And the Acharyas also explain that because his eyes were filled with fear, right? He was already very, very fearful of Mother Yashoda. And he's looking at Mother Yashoda. He's running. As he's running, he's turning and looking. Mother Yashoda is very angry. So because of that, his eyes was filled with fear. And because of that, he was looking here, there. Like when we are fearful, we normally look here, there, everywhere like that. So in that way, Krishna was also turning back and seeing, Mother Yashoda, where is she? Will she catch me? Like that. Now he was running fast and he was weeping and crying, but the tears were not coming. He was rubbing his eyes and running. And what happens? Mushwasa kampa. And then what happened? He was becoming breathless. Right? His breathing was becoming fast. And Trirekanka Khanta in his neck, which is like a conch shell, which has got these 3 lines, like a conch shell. He is wearing this beautiful necklace of pearls. And as he is running, feeling breathless, tears are flowing down from his eyes, quick breathing is happening because of his crying, etc. The necklace of pearls are also shaking. And Satyavrata Muni says, Sita Graivam Damodharam Bhakti Baddham. To that Damodara, who is bound only by Bhakti. Bhakti can only bind the Bhagavan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So that Damodara who was bound by the Bhakti of Mother Yashoda, I pay my obeisances. I offer my humble obeisances. All right. So the next one, the third verse. Iti drikshva leela bhirananda kunde swagosham nimajjantam akyapayantam. Iti drikshva leela. All of these wonderful leelas, what do they give the Vrajavasis? Ananda kunde. They drown them in pools of ecstasy. Swagosham nimajjantam akyapayantam. Right? That means Krishna is revealing by this, or Satyavrata Muni is revealing that Krishna can be bound only by those devotees who are devoid of awe and reverence, right? Those devotees, the next two lines it says, Tadiyeshi Tagneshu Bhakter Jitatvam. That is, he is conquered only by those devotees, by those servants, right? Aradhanam api sarvesham Vishnur Aradhanam param tasmat paratram devi tadiyanam samarchanam. So tadiyana means devotees of the Lord. Right? Krishna, Lord Shiva tells Parvati that the worship of the devotees of the Lord is even better than worshipping his own self. Right? But here, the same word is used, tadiya. Tadiya means the servant of the Lord. So Krishna can be conquered only by those servants who are completely devoid or completely free from the conception of awe and reverence. And their bhakti is completely madhurya. Their bhakti is completely devoid of aishwarya. Their bhakti is completely madhurya, completely sweet. Puna prematastam shata vritti vande. Puna means again and again. Out of love, I am offering my obeisances to Lord Damodar hundreds and hundreds of times. Shata vritti vande. One is offering obeisances and hundreds of times. Okay, so now we are going to the fourth verse. Varam deva, we'll sing it again at the end of it. So we'll quickly discuss this. Varam deva moksham na moksha vadimva na chanyam vraneham vareshat apiha. Varam deva moksham na moksha vadimva. I don't want any boon other than and I don't even want impersonal liberation. I don't even want eternal life in Vaikuntha, right? Everybody aspires for, just now we were reading in Prabhupada's book, we want to go back to that place where there is no birth, death, disease, old age, right? That is for motivating neophyte people to come into Krishna consciousness. As we advance in Krishna consciousness, like I was mentioning in, I think one of these sessions or in some other session, how Swayam Bhagavan Keshav Maharaj was saying, right? The devotees of the Lord are Vamana Deva's representatives, right? And they come, they ask only for 3 steps, right? They said they don't do anything. You just have to add Krishna to your life. You don't have to give up anything, right? But Maharaj was saying, the devotees came into my life like that only. And then they gave me so much of Krishna that I had no time and space for anything else other than Krishna. Right? And then Maharaj was saying, I'm so grateful to such devotees who brought Krishna into my life that there is no time and space for anything. Right? He was saying devotees are like agents of Vaman Dev. Right? So similarly, Prabhupada also in the beginning, Prabhupada always used to say, don't have to do anything. Don't have to give up anything. Right? Just add Krishna to your lives. When we add Krishna to our lives by performing devotional service, we don't know when we are giving up all the anarthas, unnecessary things automatically go away. Right? So here, Satyavrata Muni is saying, I don't want liberation. I don't even want to go and stay in Vaikuntha. Right? This, I think in some other class we were discussing how Sarupya, Salokya, Samipya, Sarshti, all that a devotee rejects. If there is no opportunity to serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So I don't want all these boons. Na chanyam vraneham vareshadapiha. Na cha anyam. I don't want anything else. What do I want? Satyavrata Muni is saying, Idam teva purnata gopala bhalam sadame manasya virashtam kim anyai. This beautiful form of Gopala Bhalam, right? The Bala Gopal form of Vrindavan. May this sadame manasya virashtam. May this form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead be eternally manifest in my heart. Kim anyai. What is the use of any other boon other than this in my life, right? So that is what is the 4th verse. Okay, let's also do the 5th verse, and then tomorrow we have today is 2nd day, right? 3 more days we have. So we'll do 6, 7, and 8 like that, and then we'll complete. Okay, so let's do the next verse also. So what is this verse? Sadame manasya virashtam kimanyai. May this beautiful form of Balagopal be ever manifest in my heart. The next one is Idam te mukham bojam atyanta nilayar. Right? The Krishna, Satyavrata Muni is describing the beautiful face of Lord Shri Krishna. That it is looking like a beautiful lotus. Atyanta nilayar. That means his lotus face is surrounded by black locks of beautiful hair. Vritam kuntalai snigdha raktyescha gopya. Right? This beautiful soft black hair, right? We see that mothers generally kiss their children on the head. So here they said that Mother Yashoda is kissing Lord Krishna's head again and again. Vritam kuntalai snigdha raktyescha gopya. Gopya here refers to Mother Yashoda, who is a gopi, right? Who is just an ordinary gopi, who's not very learned, in the scriptures, who is not a scholar in the scriptures, but yet such a person is getting such intimate moments with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as the Lord appeared as the son of this beautiful gopi, because of the love, and he was reciprocating to the love of this gopi, who is Yashoda Maya, who is the mother of Lord Shri Krishna. And Muhur Chumbitam Bimba Raktadharam me Manasya Virashtam Alam Laksha Labai. Muhus Chumbitam Bimba Raktadharam. This Bimba fruit. Bimba fruit is a red color fruit, right? They're very reddish. That represents Lord Krishna's lips. Lord Krishna's lips are always compared to this Bimba fruit. Just like we say lotus feet, Namo Pankajanabhaya, Namo Pankajamale, Namo Pankajanetraya, Namaste Pankajangraye. Right? We are comparing everything to the lotus, right? Lotus feet, lotus navel, when you're wearing nice lotus garland like that. Right? Most chumbitam bimba. Then bimba fruit is compared to Lord's lips. Raktadharam me. Rakta means red. Raktadharam me. Manasya virastam alam lakshalabhai. Manasya virastam. May this beautiful vision of the lotus face of the Lord be ever manifest in my heart. Alam lakshalabhai. Laksha means lakhs. Right? Even lakhs and lakhs or thousands and thousands of other benedictions are useless to me. So this is what is the first 5 verses we've completed on this. So then we will do in the next 3 days 6, 7 and 8. Like that we will complete the next 3 day meditations on Damodarashtakam. Right? Shri Damodarashtakam ki jai, Deepdan Mahamahotsava ki jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada Srila Gurudeva ki jai. Now we'll sing this beautiful song. Namamishwaram Shachitanandarupam Lasat Kundalam Gokule Brajamanam Yashodhabhiyolukaladhavamanam Paramrishtamathyanta Todruta Gopya Namamishwaram Shachitanandarupam Lasat Kundalam Gokule Brajamanam Yashodhabhiyolukaladhavamanam Paramrishtamathyanta Todruta Gopya Rudhanta Muhurnetra Yogmam Mrijantam Paramboja Yugmena Satanka Netra Moshvasakam Patri Rekhanka Khanta Pita Graivam Damodaram Bhaktivadham Iti Drikshvalila Virananda Kunde Swagosham Nimajanta Makyapayantam Tadiyeshitagyeshu Bhaktajitatvam Punaha Prematastam Satavritti Vande Varam Deva Moksha Na Mokshavadim Va Na Chanyam Vrineham Vareshadapiha Vidam Deva Purnata Gopalavalam Sada me manasya virastam kimanye idam te mukambojam atyanta nilaye vritam kunchalai snigdha rakta chagopya mohuschumbitam bimba raktadaram me manasya virastam alam lakshalabhay Namo Deva Damodarananta Vishnu Prasida Prabho Dukha Jala Vimagam Kripa Drishti Drishyati Vinambatano Priyani Shamamagyam Vedyakshi Drisha Kuveratmajau Bhadramurtyeva Yadvat Svayam Mochitau Bhakti Vajo Pratau Cha तथा प्रेम भक्तिं स्वकामे प्रयच्छ नमोक्षे ग्रहो मे श्रीरामोदरेह नमस्ते स्तुधाम्ने सुरदीपिदाम्ने त्वदीयोदरायात विश्वस्य धाम्ने नमो राधिकायै त्वदीयप्रियायै नमो अनन्तलीलाय देवयतुभ्यम् नमो राधिकायै त्वदीयप्रियायै नमो अनन्तलीलाय देवयतुभ्यम् जय राधा दामोदर राधा दामोदर राधा दामोदर श्री राधे जय यशोदा दामोदर यशोदा दामोदर यशोदा दामोदर श्री राधे जय जय प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद गुरुदेव गुरुदेव नित्य गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल श्रील प्रभुपाद श्रील गुरुदेव की जय अनंत कोटि वैष्णवा वृंद की जय दामोदराष्टकम की जय दीपदान महामहोत्सवा की जय भीष्म पंचक व्रता की जय द्वादशी महामहोत्सवा की जय कार्तिक मंथ की जय अनंत कोटि वैष्णवा वृंद की जय निताई गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल हरे कृष्णा. So thank you all for joining in for our evening Sandhya Kal program which we're having every day. I would request devotees to join us in the next 3 days, and then we'll resume back to our Monday to Friday study of the book that we're reading now, Raja Vidya, the King of Knowledge. So next 4 days we are doing extra for the pleasure of Guru and Gauranga. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Gurudev ki jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Thank you very much. So devotees can unmute now, and in case anyone wants to share any realizations or ask any questions, we can do that now. Otherwise, we can end the meeting and meet tomorrow morning, 5 o'clock. Yes, Vijay Lakshmi Priya Mataji. Oh, yeah, you can unmute.
Mataji, you'll be glorifying Tulsi Maharani since we'll have Tulsi Vivaha.
Yes. On the last day. We'll be doing that. 27th November.
Okay.
Hare Krishna. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Gurudev ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Thank you. Hari Bol. Hari